Redpaw carefully patted some fresh moss into the corner of a nest in ThunderClan's warrior den, then sighed. This is so boring! I want to go hunting! His sister Willowpaw dragged more moss into the den, wrinkling her nose at the taste as she dropped it down beside him. At least we're not picking ticks off the elders like Frostpaw and Brindlepaw, she meowed. Redpaw patted the new moss in place. But pretty soon they'll have their warrior ceremony, and we'll be the only apprentices left. And we'll have to do the worst jobs in the camp for moons, he complained. Whitestorm and Tigerclaw already became warriors. We don't even have Spotted Paw helping us anymore. Willowpaw peeked out the entrance to the warrior's den towards their littermate Spotted Paw, who was laying out herbs to dry in the sun. Medicine cat apprentices work pretty hard too, she purred, her blue eyes shining with amusement. Not just you, Redpaw. Redpaw's whiskers twitched. I know, I'm being silly, he admitted. I just want to go hunting with Sparrowpelt and Tigerclaw and the others. He would have gone with them if it had been an ordinary hunting patrol. Sparrowpelt was his mentor. The tabby might be a little bit grumpy sometimes, but he wouldn't leave Redpaw out of a hunt. But today their hunting patrol had gone towards Sunning Rocks, and ThunderClan's leader Sunstar had deemed the rocks near the river too dangerous for apprentices. We've been fighting over Sunning Rocks with RiverClan for years, Sparrowpelt had explained to Redpaw, his tail twitching. Some cats say the rocks were in the river once, so RiverClan thinks of them as theirs. I don't know about that. They've been on ThunderClan land as long as any cat in the clans can now remember. But RiverClan won't admit that they're ours. We went and warned RiverClan off not long before you became an apprentice. But Sunstar's nervous that they might be biding their time and planning an ambush. So Redpaw thought with another sigh. I'm stuck freshening nests in camp instead of catching prey. It was all useful work, of course. Redpaw knew that, and he wanted to do whatever he could to help his clan. But apprentice duties around camp weren't any fun, compared with hunting. There was nothing Redpaw liked better than hunting. Prowling through ThunderClan's forest territory, sniffing the air for the fresh scent of prey, his ears pricked for even the faintest sound. After he'd spotted his prey, he loved the feeling of his muscles tensing, his heart pounding, as he carefully stalked it. There was nothing more exhilarating than the final pounce. Redpaw flexed his claws, imagining the squirm of a mouse beneath his paws. He felt like he might burst with pride whenever he caught his clan eating the prey that he had caught. Sparrowpelt had just said the other day that Redpaw's hunting skills were coming on nicely, and the memory filled Redpaw with a warm rush of pride. I'm gonna be the best hunter in ThunderClan, he announced. Willowpaw flicked her pale gray tail. Even better than Tigerclaw? She mewed teasingly. No cat is better than Tigerclaw. At least, that's what he thinks. A shadow fell across the entrance to the den, and Poppy Dawn, Willowpaw's mentor, thrust her broad red face through the opening. Sounds like there's a lot more chattering than working going on in here, she meowed briskly. Willowpaw, put some more moss in the corner. I don't want to be sleeping on rocks. Yes, Poppy Dawn, Willowpaw mewed, dipping her head respectfully. And Redpaw, why don't you go get some feathers? Poppy Dawn went on. Those would make the nest nice and soft. There aren't any good feathers on the fresh kill pile, Redpaw replied a little less respectfully. Poppy Dawn wasn't his mentor. There will be now, Poppy Dawn told him. Sparrowpelt's patrol is just getting back, and it looks like they've got a couple of nice starlings. They're back? Redpaw rushed past Poppy Dawn out of the warrior's den, Willowpaw close behind. Don't forget to finish that job, Poppy Dawn called sternly after them. Outside the cozy warmth of the warrior den, Redpaw shivered as the chill of leaf fall seeped into his fur. But the sun was still shining brightly. They had some time before the bitter cold of Leafbearer. In a patch of warm sunlight in the center of the camp, the two older apprentices, Frostpaw and Brindlepaw, paused in their grooming of the elders beside them. Looks like it was a good hunt, Frostpaw meowed chirpily. Beside her, Larksong arched her back in annoyance. Are you gossiping or getting rid of my ticks? She asked grouchily. Frostpaw rolled her eyes and turned her attention back to the old she-cat's pelt. Redpaw suppressed a purr of amusement and looked up towards the returning hunters. Sparrowpelt was already beside the fresh kill pile. The starlings Poppy Dawn had mentioned were on the ground at his paws. Despite his good catch, Sparrowpelt's face was dark with anger. Redpaw hesitated, glancing back towards the camp entrance, at the rest of the hunting patrol coming in. Speckletail was striding across the clearing towards the fresh kill pile, a squirrel dangling from her jaws and a stormy expression in her amber eyes. Redpaw craned his neck to see past her. Tigerclaw was just pushing his broad shoulders through the gorse tunnel. He looked angry too, but Redpaw was distracted by the prey that hung from his mouth. A fat rabbit and 2 juicy voles! So much prey, Redpaw wondered how the big warrior was managing to carry it all. Wow, Redpaw breathed to his littermate. You're right, Tigerclaw is the best hunter in camp. Willowpaw flipped her tail. He's still an arrogant furball though, she mewed softly. We know that. Yeah, maybe, Redpaw agreed, his eyes following Tigerclaw as he crossed the clearing behind Speckletail. He's changed a lot since he became a warrior, though. When Tigerclaw had been one of the oldest apprentices, he had taken every opportunity to make it clear that he was the best fighter and the best hunter among the apprentices, and that Redpaw, Willowpaw, and Spottedpaw, who were the youngest of the apprentices, were far, far beneath him. Redpaw hadn't forgotten that. But ever since Tigerclaw had gotten his warrior name, he'd stopped bullying the apprentices. Instead, he seemed to be intently focused on becoming the best warrior in the clan. Someday he'll probably be leader, Redpaw thought, looking admiringly at the dark brown tabby's broad shoulders and huge paws. All 3 cats who had been on the patrol dropped their prey on the fresh kill pile now, and were gathered together in the clearing, their faces dark with fury. I wonder what happened, Willowpaw meowed softly. Curious, Redpaw moved closer, approaching Sparrowpelt. How'd you hunt? He asked his mentor, feeling awkward. Did you have to sneak up on those starlings? Or did you jump? Not now, Redpaw, Sparrowpelt interrupted, turning away. We have to report to Sunstar. He hurried towards the leader's den, Speckletail and Tigerclaw following close behind. We'd better get to work, Willowpaw mewed, glancing nervously across the clearing at Poppydon. I don't want to get in trouble. Redpaw hesitated, watching Tigerclaw disappear into Sunstar's den at the bottom of High Rock. After a few moments, Sunstar's long-furred ginger face pushed through the lichen that covered the entrance. Tawny Spots! He called, and the clan's deputy hurried to join the others in the leader's den. Something bad must have happened, Redpaw thought, the fur rising along his spine. He glanced around. Maybe they'd seen something scary in the forest, like badgers or foxes. Or maybe the 2 legs and their dogs were nearby. Redpaw shivered. From opposite sides of the clearing, Bluefur and Thistleclaw had raised their heads to gaze thoughtfully toward Sunstar's den. Every cat thought that Sunstar was going to pick one of them to be his deputy next, when Tawny Spots retired to the Elder's Den. And they paid close attention to what happened between ThunderClan and the other clans, as they were preparing themselves. While a few other faces were also turned with interest towards the High Rock, no cat was watching Redpaw. Willowpaw was dutifully heading back to the Warrior's Den, while Frostpaw and Brindlepaw were busy grooming the elders. Poppydon was sharing a vole with Rosetail, their heads close together in conversation. She won't notice if I don't go straight back to changing the bedding, he decided. Trying to look like he wasn't eavesdropping, Redpaw strolled closer to Sunstar's den, his ears pricked up. This is the 3rd time, Sunstar! Sparrowpelt was yelling. You actually caught the RiverClan patrol marking sunning rocks? Sunstar demanded, his voice a deep growl. It was Owlfur, Softwing, and Ottersplash, Speckletail confirmed. We tried to chase them off, but we didn't want to leave the prey we were carrying. We should have taught them a lesson they wouldn't forget, Tigerclaw hissed angrily. It would be worth it to lose a little prey. We thought that Hellstar listened when we warned him away from sunning rocks, Tawny Spot meowed. His mew sounded tired, and Redpaw shifted uncomfortably. The deputy looked sicker every day, ribs showing through his thin, dry coat. Maybe we should talk to him again. His warriors might be acting without his approval. Enough is enough, Tigerclaw growled. We need to stop just talking and show RiverClan that they can't get away with this. What are you suggesting, Tigerclaw? Sunstar asked calmly. Redpaw could almost see his leader's level gaze as he carefully considered each cat's words. We need to fight, Tigerclaw hissed. There was a scraping sound inside the den, and Redpaw pictured Tigerclaw's paws flexing, his long, sharp claws extending and retracting with the big tabby's anger. We should attack RiverClan's camp. Teach them what happens when they mess with ThunderClan.
I'm not sure fighting is the best choice,
Tawny Spots argued.
RiverClan has more warriors than we do right now. Do we really want to start something on their own territory, knowing we'll be outnumbered?
We'll bring the apprentices then, Tigerclaw replied coolly. They should have the experience of being in a real battle anyways. Redpaw's whiskers stiffened in surprise. The apprentices? Tigerclaw thinks we should fight RiverClan? His head spun, and for a moment he lost track of the conversation in Sunstar's den. He snapped back to attention at the sound of his mentor's angry voice. We can't take the apprentices into battle, Sparrowpelt yelled. They don't have any real fighting experience. They're not ready, Speckletail agreed. And they never will be if they don't get to fight, Tigerclaw mewed. They need to be properly trained, and facing a battle with another clan is the only way to learn. There was a long silence, and Redpaw pictured the warriors looking to Sunstar for his decision. He might take Frostpaw and Brindlepaw, but Sunstar wouldn't let Willowpaw and me go, Redpaw thought. He thinks we're too young to fight. He swallowed hard. Do I even want to fight? When he dreamed of being a full warrior, Redpaw never imagined battle. He wanted to hunt and patrol for his clan. He knew he'd have to fight someday, but not yet. We will go to RiverClan, Sunstar meowed at last. We will take 4 of the warrior apprentices. Redpaw stiffened with shock. But Sunstar! Sparrowpelt began to object. We're not going to start a war, Sunstar interrupted firmly. We'll go onto their territory with a force of warriors. We'll make a show of strength, and remind Hailstar that he'd better stay away from Sunning Rocks. That's it. We've done that before, Tigerclaw objected, and it only kept RiverClan away for a little while. This time we'll be asking Hailstar for a promise, Sunstar pointed out. Surely he understands that we can't continue fighting over Sunning Rocks forever. If he gives us his word, we can trust him that his cats will keep it. I don't think we should take Redpaw and Willowpaw, Sparrowpelt mewed again. They're nowhere near full grown, and they could get hurt. Frostpaw and Brindlepaw are almost warriors, Speckletail agreed. But Redpaw and Willowpaw haven't had much battle training yet. They're practically just out of the nursery. The fur rose on Redpaw's shoulders. He might not have learned to fight yet, but he wasn't a kid. Tigerclaw has a point about the apprentices' training, Sunstar meowed. But Sparrowpelt and Speckletail are right too. If the apprentices are going to come onto RiverClan's territory, we need a plan to keep them safe. We could, try dividing our forces, Tawny Spots suggested. Most of our warriors could approach RiverClan across the river, but another group can come over the bridge from 4 trees. If there's a battle, they can attack from behind, when the RiverClan cats have already been distracted. And we could keep the apprentices well to the back of that group, Sunstar meowed thoughtfully. Along with you, Tigerclaw. What? But I'm the best fighter ThunderClan has! Tigerclaw yelled, outraged. And I'm hoping to frighten RiverClan off without actually starting a fight, Sunstar replied calmly. You're the one who suggested bringing the apprentices, and I think you should be responsible for making sure they come home safely. I'm not their mentor, Tigerclaw growled, sounding sulky. Surely the clan's best fighter is the one we need protecting our apprentices, Sunstar meowed. There was another long pause, and then Tigerclaw muttered, Yes, Sunstar. Redpaw could imagine him dipping his head, his amber eyes stormy with silent frustration. We should announce the plan to the clan, Sunstar meowed briskly, and Redpaw leaped back from High Rock before Sunstar could come out of his den and see him eavesdropping. I'm going to be in a battle, he thought, his heart pounding with excitement. Then a cold chill ran down his spine, and he felt his tail droop. Redpaw swallowed hard. I'm going to be in a battle! See this! Whiteeye asked, angling her face so that Redpaw was looking directly into her cloudy, sightless eye, so different from the sharp yellow one beside it. An old scar knotted its lid. A badger's claw caught my face when I was just a kid. One wrong move in a battle can mark you forever. Be careful today, Redpaw. Redpaw's stomach turned over. "Do you really think we're going to fight?" he asked, his mew sounding shaky to his own ears. The pale gray she-cat twitched her whiskers thoughtfully. "I don't see how we can avoid it," she replied. "Sunstar told Hellstar that the RiverClan cats had better stay away from Sunning Rocks, and now they're coming back again. I think ThunderClan will have to fight." She sighed. "I just wish I could help. I hate being useless." "Well, having kits is really important too," Redpaw mewed awkwardly, glancing at the she-cat's rounded sides. "Thanks, Redpaw." Whiteeye dipped her head, her mew a little lighter. "Just don't rush into the fight today, okay? Let the warriors handle it."
"Are you trying to scare my apprentice?"
An amused meow came from behind them, and Redpaw jumped, and then licked his fur in embarrassment.
"I'm not scared."
Whiteeye turned her muzzle up towards Sparrowpelt and purred. "I only want you both to be careful," she mewed. "My kits will need their father." Sparrowpelt rubbed his cheek against hers, closing his eyes. Redpaw averted his gaze.
"I'll just be, over there,"
he said uncomfortably. Redpaw turned his back and hurried away, not stopping until he was almost to the fresh kill pile. He took a deep breath. Now that he was away from Sparrowpelt and Whiteeye, his embarrassment went away, and his pelt prickled nervously as he thought about what Whiteeye had said. One wrong move in a battle can mark you forever. Nearby, Stormtail was giving Brindlepaw some last-minute advice.
"Now remember," the Tom instructed, "if they get you on your back, slash up your hind paws at your opponent's belly, just like I showed you. Don't be afraid to use your claws."
Redpaw swallowed hard, panic spiking through him. "I haven't even learned that move yet!" Sunstar strode to the center of the clearing and yelled for attention.
"It's time for us to confront RiverClan," he announced. "Bluefur will be leading the apprentices and their mentors, as well as Tigerclaw, to approach RiverClan camp from across Two-Leg Bridge. Lionheart and Goldenflower, you will be staying behind to defend our camp."
The large golden Tom and his smaller ginger sister exchanged a disappointed glance, but they bowed their heads in agreement.
"Every other warrior, take the herbs that our medicine cats have for you, and then we will go. Remember, right now we're just giving them a warning. No cat is to attack unless I give the order, or RiverClan attacks first."
Feather, Whisker, and Spotted Paw moved between the warriors, giving out herbs. Spotted Paw came to Redpaw and dropped a small packet at his paws. "For strength," she explained, and Redpaw dipped his head to lap them up, grimacing at their sharp taste. Once each warrior and apprentice had finished their herb, Sunstar paced to the camp entrance.
"Follow me!" he yelled.
The warriors streamed out of camp behind their leader. Their tails were held high, and their eyes were bright and eager. Redpaw watched them go. His stomach was sour with nervousness. "What's wrong with me? I want to be a warrior. It's all I've ever wanted. Why am I afraid to fight?"
"What's got your tail in a twist?"
Tigerclaw had stopped beside him and was looking at Redpaw curiously. "Whiteeye was telling me about how she lost her eye," Redpaw explained reluctantly. "She said that one wrong move can mark you forever. She told me to hang back and let the warriors fight."
Tigerclaw's tail flicked dismissively. "Whiteeye's just jealous because she's chosen to have kits instead of fighting for her clan," he meowed coolly. "Don't let her discourage you. She can't fight right now, but your best warrior days are just beginning."
"They are?" He liked the idea of becoming a strong warrior more than he did the idea of needing to be protected. Tigerclaw was so confident. If he thought Redpaw was well on his way to becoming a strong warrior, he was probably right. Warmth spread through Redpaw's chest.
"The best warriors don't try to avoid a fight," Tigerclaw went on.
He slid out his sharp claws and raked the ground with one paw, leaving long, deep lines in the dirt.
"If RiverClan tries to argue with us, I'll attack. We can't hesitate if we want them to respect us."
Redpaw knew what Tigerclaw was saying was reckless. They should be waiting for Sunstar's commands. But he couldn't help the warm curl of admiration that ran through him. He's so brave. Redpaw watched his father, Adderfang, disappear through the gorse tunnel, and the last of the warriors following Sunstar. "Apprentices and mentors! Tigerclaw! Come with me!" Bluefur called. Her apprentice, Frostpaw, was standing beside her, wide-eyed.
Sparrowpelt touched noses with Whiteeye one more time and then turned away. "Come on, Redpaw," he meowed as he strode towards Bluefur.
Redpaw's eyes met his sister Spotted Paw's again. She was standing outside the medicine cat den with Feather Whisker,
her tail lashing excitedly.
"Good luck, Redpaw," she yelled. "Good luck, Willowpaw."
Waving his own tail to her in farewell, Redpaw took a deep breath and followed Sparrowpelt out of camp. Bluefur took the lead, Sparrowpelt and Poppydon side by side behind her. Stormtail was followed by his apprentice Brindlepaw. Beside him, her sister Frostpaw was eagerly chatting to them both.
"Do you think we'll see any of the RiverClan cats actually swimming?" Redpaw overheard her asking. Willowpaw fell into step beside Redpaw as they paced through the forest, and Tigerclaw brought up the rear of the patrol. Recently fallen leaves crunched beneath their paws, and sunlight came through the tree's branches, making bright patches on the forest floor. Redpaw shivered suddenly, only partly because of the leaf fall chill in the air. Willowpaw shot him a sharp glance. "Are you scared?" she whispered.
A little bit," Redpaw admitted, keeping his voice low so that Tigerclaw wouldn't hear.
"Don't worry," Willowpaw told him. "Remember, we're just delivering a warning to RiverClan. And if something does happen, we're not alone. We've got the whole clan. We've got Sparrowpelt and Poppydon looking out for us." She pushed closer, her fur brushing against him, and whispered even more quietly. "And Tigerclaw thinks he's the best warrior in the whole forest. He won't let us get hurt. It wouldn't be good for his reputation." While the rest of the warriors headed straight for the RiverClan camp, Bluefur led her patrol past the owl tree and close to 4 trees before turning and following the river towards the two-leg bridge.
"This is a waste of time," Tigerclaw muttered. "We should be attacking the camp, not wandering around the edge of RiverClan's territory."
"Sunstar wants us to come from this direction," Bluefur meowed sharply. "And we're not planning to fight unless we have to." The blue-gray cat looked preoccupied, her eyes searching the open plains of RiverClan's territory, as if there was something she was expecting, or hoping to see.
Tigerclaw narrowed his amber eyes at her balefully, but said nothing.
As Redpaw followed Frostpaw onto the bridge, he wrinkled his nose at the sharp, unnatural two-leg scent. It smelled strange. They were only a few paces across when a cry sounded in the distance.
Stormtail's head shot up. "That's Small Ear!" he meowed. "They're fighting!"
Another agonized yowl made all the cats flinch. "Appletail!" Bluefur observed tensely. "It sounds like she's in trouble."
"Come on!" Tigerclaw yelled. He began to run, easily shouldering past the apprentices. Redpaw tensed, running after him. The surface of the two-leg bridge was hard beneath his paws. Tigerclaw was side by side with Bluefur at the front of the patrol, when a sudden harsh screech came from above. A huge brown shape blocked out the sun, swooping down at them. Panicked, Redpaw dodged backwards, but Bluefur and Tigerclaw were on their hind legs, their claws extended, swiping at the brown thing above them, which Redpaw could now see was feathered. A bird! "Protect the apprentices!" Stormtail yelled. The other warriors began aiming sharp-clawed blows at the bird too. The bird screeched again and rose out of their reach. Its yellow eyes glared at them beadily. Its tawny wings were spread wide. A hawk! Redpaw realized. Sparrowpelt had told him how dangerous these huge birds could be. "They'll carry off a kid and eat it if they can," he remembered his mentor saying. "Or even a lone, full-grown cat. But they're no match for a whole patrol. They'd attack smaller cats," Redpaw remembered. "Ones they could lift in their claws." He gulped, flinching. He and Willowpaw were the smallest cats here. "Punch together!" Poppydon instructed. And Sparrowpelt and Stormtail hurried backwards towards the apprentices, herding them into a smaller, tighter group. Redpaw couldn't take his eyes off the hawk, circling above them. His long, sharp talons and the cruel curve of its beak looked horribly dangerous. He realized just how exposed they were on the bridge, with nothing between them and the vicious bird, no trees or bushes to shelter beneath. She pointed her tail towards a small groove in the birch trees near the far end of the bridge. "Get under those trees!" Warm pelts brushed against Redpaw's as the rest of the patrol began to run. Redpaw wanted to run with them, but he felt as though his paws were stuck to the two-leg bridge. He crouched low, panting. I have to run!" He couldn't run. He looked up just as the hawk swooped lower, its huge wings fully extended. Redpaw backed away quickly, his paws scrabbling against the hard surface of the bridge. The space between him and the rest of the patrol widened. I'm going the wrong way!" Everything was slowing down, except for Redpaw's heart, which was beating faster and faster. He gasped for air, his paws feeling too slow and heavy to lift.
Willowpaw wailed from the other end of the bridge. The others had noticed at last that he hadn't run with them,
that he'd been left behind. If I run now, maybe I can still get away. But the hawk was circling above him now, coming lower and lower. Redpaw could see the bright gleam of its beady eyes. He cringed back, flattening his body against the bridge. Run, Redpaw, run! He and Tigerclaw were racing back towards Redpaw, their long strides eating up the distance between them. The hawk was closer. It dived towards him, its talons extended. Redpaw couldn't breathe. A hawk will go for a lone cat. And with nothing to hide from the diving hawk, Redpaw had never felt so alone. The hawk screeched, its shadow falling over Redpaw. It was so huge above him, so much larger than he was, that it could probably swallow him whole, he thought, his heart pounding hard. He squeezed his eyes tightly closed. Redpaw whimpered, his ears pressed flat against his head. The bird's next screech was almost drowned out by a powerful snarl. Redpaw's eyes snapped open just in time to see Tigerclaw slam into the hawk midair, knocking it with a thud into the side of the bridge beside Redpaw. The hawk slashed at Tigerclaw with its beak, giving an angry squawk. Tigerclaw dodged backward easily, using his big paws to pin the huge bird's wings to the bridge. He began to rip away feathers, blood beading in red droplets across the bird's brown wings. The hawk thrashed, almost throwing him off, but Tigerclaw held on. Redpaw! At the sound of Sparrowpelt's voice, Redpaw tore his gaze away from the fight. His mentor was only a tail length away, panting from his run. Come on! His mentor hissed urgently. Now, while Tigerclaw's got it distracted! But shouldn't we help him? Redpaw looked back at the battling cat and hawk, just as Tigerclaw jerked to one side and bit into the hawk's neck hard, his sharp white teeth bright against the hawk's dark feathers. He tore at the bird's throat and more feathers scattered across the bridge. It didn't look like Tigerclaw needed their help at all. Come on, quickly! Sparrowpelt growled. Finally, Redpaw ran. Together they dashed towards the rest of the patrol on the opposite side of the bridge. Redpaw couldn't quite keep pace with his mentor. As fast as he was running, he was still falling behind. Don't leave me, he whimpered, his mouth dry with terror. With a horrified glance at the sky, Sparrowpelt doubled back. Snatching Redpaw up by the back of his neck, like a kit, he hauled him towards the far end of the bridge. Hey! Redpaw sputtered as they got closer to the others, his legs churning helplessly. Put me down! I'm fine! When they finally reached the end of the bridge, Sparrowpelt dropped him, immediately beginning to nose gingerly along Redpaw's sides. Are you hurt anywhere? He asked. Did it scratch you? Before he could answer, Willowpaw threw herself on Redpaw and buried her head in his shoulder. Oh, Redpaw! She meowed shakily. I was so scared. When I saw you weren't with us, She gasped and pressed her head harder against him. Redpaw backed a little away from them both, embarrassed. I'm fine, he insisted. I promise. Good, Bloofer meowed briskly. Stay under this tree, all of you. Hawks usually hunt alone, but we should be cautious. There could always be another one up there. On the bridge, the fallen hawk flapped its wings desperately, throwing Tigerclaw off. He landed on his feet, snarling, and leaped towards it again. But the bird fluttered its damaged wings, and with an awkward lurch, launched itself off the other side of the bridge. Wow, Frostpaw said, her eyes wide. It's running away. Flying, I mean. The bird plummeted for a moment, then rose again, flapping its way slowly into the sky. It looked battered and unsteady. A few more feathers drifted down onto the bridge. Now that Tigerclaw had bested it, it didn't seem quite so fierce. As it flew off over the trees, Tigerclaw strutted back towards his clanmates, his tail held high over his back. Redpaw shook off his sister and ran to meet him. Tigerclaw! He gasped, coming to a halt before the warrior, suddenly feeling shy. You saved me! Tigerclaw licked his own front paw smugly. It's all right, Redpaw, he meowed. You're safe now. Thank you, Redpaw told him. Just saying thanks didn't seem like enough, really. He could still feel the horrible dread that had filled him as he'd waited for those wickedly sharp talons to sink into his sides. If there's anything I can ever do for you, Tigerclaw, Just name it, he stammered. I owe you everything.
You did very well, Tigerclaw, Bluefur meowed as the rest of the patrol came up behind Redpaw. We're all very grateful for you. There was a murmur of agreement from the other cats, all of whom were looking at Tigerclaw with respect.
Redpaw squirmed, feeling hot with shame. No cat would have had to be grateful to Tigerclaw if only Redpaw had followed the order to run. If he hadn't stupidly put himself in danger. We need to keep going, though, Stormtail pointed out. The other warriors may need us.
Bluefur and Sparrowpelt exchanged a worried look.
Suddenly, Redpaw noticed that he could no longer hear the yowls and sounds of fighting from the RiverClan camp.
I can't hear them anymore. Brindlepaw echoed Redpaw's thoughts. Is the fight over?
I don't know,
Bluefur meowed. We'd better go and see. I think that Redpaw and Willowpaw should stay here, though.
I'm fine! Redpaw insisted again. His knees were still trembling, but he didn't want to be left behind. It's not fair to make Willowpaw stay back, he added.
Willowpaw cast him a grateful look.
Bluefur ignored him, instead looking at Sparrowpelt.
Will you stay with them? She asked.
Of course, Sparrowpelt replied,
and Bluefur dipped her head gratefully. Stay under the tree in case the hawk comes back, she warned as she left, the rest of the patrol following her. They were hurrying, the 3 warriors in front and Frostpaw and Brindlepaw behind, both apprentices gazing at Tigerclaw admiringly. Redpaw watched as they disappeared over the hill.
This is all my fault, he groaned. You're not responsible for the hawk, Sparrowpelt replied.
He was looking towards RiverClan's camp, his ears pricked for any sound. Willowpaw lay down next to Redpaw and pressed her side against his. I was so frightened when I saw you were still on the bridge, she confessed, her voice unsteady. What if that hawk had carried you off?
Redpaw shuddered at the thought and pushed his nose against his sister's shoulder, inhaling her comforting, familiar scent. It didn't, though, he meowed, to himself as much as to her. I'm still here. Tigerclaw saved me.
Willowpaw blinked slowly at him, her gaze warm. I'll never call Tigerclaw a show-off or an arrogant furball again, she promised. He saved your life, and he can be as proud as he wants to be.
Redpaw's heartbeat had only just calmed down when Sparrowpelt suddenly stiffened. Here they come, he meowed, lashing his tail.
It hasn't been very long, Willowpaw muttered, getting to her feet,
and Redpaw shook off his shakiness and rose too. Is everything okay, do you think? Sparrowpelt didn't answer, but stepped forward to greet the other warriors. He and Bluefur touched noses briefly, and Bluefur sighed. We were too late. The fight was over? Sparrowpelt asked.
Poppydon's tail drooped. The rest of ThunderClan had to retreat, she meowed. There were just too many RiverClan cats.
Because we didn't get there in time. Redpaw's mouth went dry. We weren't there to fight because of me, he blurted out guiltily. I'm sorry. Sparrowpelt sighed. We'll talk about this when we get back to Camp Redpaw.
The important thing is that you're all right, Poppydon meowed firmly. Let's get back and see if we can help Featherwhisker and Spotted Paw with any injuries from the fight.
Redpaw trailed behind the other cats as they headed back towards the ThunderClan camp. His head bowed. This is all my fault. The thought kept repeating in his head. My fault. If only he hadn't frozen in his panic. If he had run with the other cats, maybe they would have arrived at RiverClan camp in time to be of use in the battle. Tigerclaw dropped back to walk beside him. Hey, he meowed, bumping his side against Redpaw's reassuringly. Stop worrying. Redpaw's whiskers twitched miserably. I'm not sure that I can. It'll be fine, Tigerclaw assured him. We might have lost this battle because of you, but we have other chances to beat RiverClan. Redpaw stumbled. Because of me? Tigerclaw was confirming all of his worst fears. I'll back you up when we talk to Sunstar, Tigerclaw went on. He'll see that you didn't know any better. It's not like you've ruined everything on purpose. Redpaw's heart sank. Do we have to tell Sunstar what I did? He asked, his mew quavering. Tigerclaw's ears twitched in surprise. Of course we do, he replied. Sunstar's our leader, and he needs to know why his plan failed. But I'll stick up for you, no matter what the others say. After all, every warrior in the clan did some dumb things as a paw.
He shot Redpaw a glance out of the corner of his amber eyes.
I mean, those things don't usually have such awful effects, but, well, that was just bad luck, really.
Redpaw felt sick. What was Sunstar going to say? What would he do when he realized that Redpaw had lost ThunderClan the battle? Still, at least Tigerclaw was on his side. He breathed out a small sigh of relief. Thanks, Tigerclaw, he meowed meekly. I really owe you one.
Tigerclaw curled his tail high above his back. You owe me more than one, he purred cheerfully. You owe me your life.
Chapter 4.
Redpaw, do you promise to uphold the warrior code and protect and defend the clan, even at the cost of your own life?
Sunstar's eyes, warm and steady, gazed into Redpaw's.
I do, Redpaw promised. He realized he was trembling. Willowpaw, no, Willowpelt, since a few heartbeats ago, stood shoulder to shoulder with him, a steady support. Then, by the powers of StarClan, I give you your warrior name. Redpaw, from now on you will be known as Redtail. StarClan honors your bravery and loyalty, and we welcome you as a full member of ThunderClan.
With a purr, Sunstar rested his muzzle briefly on Redtail's head.
Serve your clan well, he meowed. You'll be a fine warrior. Joy ran through Redtail as he bent his head and licked his leader's shoulder. A fine warrior. 6 moons ago, back when he was that scared paw who'd been responsible for losing the battle with RiverClan, he'd hardly dared to imagine that he might someday hear those words. The cats around them cried out, Willowpelt! Redtail! Willowpelt! Redtail!
As their clanmates chanted their new names, Redtail could hear their father Adderfang's voice rising, loudest of all.
As Redtail broke away from Sunstar, he spotted Sparrowpelt, usually so stern, looking at him proudly. Beside him, Whiteeye purred. Their kit's running kit and mouse kit tumbled around her paws.
Near them, Spotted Paw was quivering with excitement. She wouldn't get her own name for a while.
She had a lot to learn before she would become a full medicine cat.
But she seemed as proud and happy for her littermates as if everyone was calling her new name too. At the back of the crowd of cats, Redtail caught the sight of Tigerclaw. The big cat wasn't cheering or purring like the rest, just watching, his expression unreadable. Does he think I'm not ready to be a warrior? Redtail thought anxiously. He hadn't forgot how Tigerclaw had saved him from the hawk moons before, or that he himself had ruined the battle with RiverClan. No cat in ThunderClan seemed to hold it against him. Sunstar hadn't even scolded him, just praised Tigerclaw for driving off the hawk. But Redtail blamed himself, and he knew that Tigerclaw remembered too. I can't believe we're finally warriors, Willowpelt said excitedly. I've been waiting for this moment forever. Beside her, their mother Swiftbreeze nuzzled her cheek. My kids are so grown up, she mewed. Redtail pulled his gaze away from Tigerclaw and looked at his sister affectionately. Yeah, you're gonna be a terrific warrior, he said, and Swiftbreeze purred in agreement. Willowpelt puffed out her chest a little, her head held high. Do you think so? I know you will too, she added. I hope so. Redtail's eyes caught Tigerclaw's again. After Redtail had made that terrible mistake back on Leafball, he had tried hard to make up for it. He'd worked through Leafbear without a word of complaint, bringing back prey even when the snows had reached above shoulder height, and the forest seemed empty of life. It had been a long, hard Leafbear. Bluefur and Thrushpelt's young kits had been killed by a fox. And to the whole clan's horror, Tawny Spots, the faithful and well-liked deputy, had died a slow, painful death from the illness that he had suffered for so long. Bluefur was deputy now, more solemn and efficient than ever. Since she'd lost her kit, she seemed to think of nothing but the good of ThunderClan. Now that New Leaf was finally arriving, pale sunshine lingered longer every day, and tiny plants sprouted in the damp soil of the forest. It had been a long time since Redtail had cost the clan that battle. Surely Tigerclaw didn't think of him as a timid paw anymore. The
Determined to find out what was behind the other warrior's thoughtful gaze, Redtail stiffened his shoulders and headed towards him. "I'm one of the best hunters in ThunderClan already," he thought. If Tigerclaw challenged him, he would tell that to the older warrior. Every cat makes mistakes sometimes. I can't feel bad about it forever. When he reached Tigerclaw, he wasn't sure what to say. "I'm not an apprentice anymore?" Seemed too obvious. "Redtail," Tigerclaw purred in greeting. "I was going to go hunting. I could use a strong warrior to go with me. Can you think of one?" Does he mean... A jolt of happiness shot through Redtail. He'd been worrying for nothing. Tigerclaw called him a strong warrior. "I'd love to," he meowed back cheerfully. He glanced quickly back at Sparrowpelt, who was purring with laughter as he tumbled Running Kit over with one paw. Then he realized, I don't have to ask my mentor for permission to leave camp anymore. He didn't have to ask any cat. He was a warrior. Holding his head high, he followed Tigerclaw through the gorse tunnel out of camp. They headed towards the border with Fortress, passing the sandy hollow where Redtail had spent so much time learning battle moves from Sparrowpelt and practicing with the other apprentices. Had already seemed like such a long time ago. As they walked beneath the trees, Redtail scented the air. His ears pricked for any sounds. The new leaf forest was rich with the scents of prey and moist soil and fresh-growing plants, so different from the cold and lifeless scents of leaf bear. A faint rustling came from the bracken beneath an elder tree, and Redtail tensed, dropping into a hunting crouch. He scented the air, his mouth watering. A vole! He could hear the little distinct rustles of it moving through the bracken. He crept closer, moving silently, his tail held low and stiff. He could feel Tigerclaw watching him. The soft sounds of movement in the bracken ceased as the little animal froze. The vole must have sensed them at last, but Redtail could still hear the pounding of its tiny heart, knew exactly where it was hiding. Breaking into a run, he crashed into the bracken and pounced before the prey could try to escape. He bit down on the back of the vole's neck, and the warm body stilled beneath his paws. "Nicely done," Tigerclaw meowed approvingly as Redtail backed out of the bracken, the vole dangling from his jaws. "Thanks," Redtail replied, pleased at Tigerclaw's praise. He dropped the vole beneath a bush and scraped earth over it to conceal it until he could pick it up on their way back to camp. Near the Fortress border, Redtail could hear the quick thumping of leaps of a running rabbit. Both cats stopped, their ears pricked. "It's coming this way," Tigerclaw observed, and Redtail nodded. His pelt prickled with excitement at the thought of a juicy rabbit, big enough to feed 3 or 4 of his clanmates. It was easy to guess where it would cross onto ThunderClan's territory. Without needing to speak, they positioned themselves one on each side of where the rabbit was headed. The heavy, lopping bounds were coming closer and closer. It sounded like a big one. His mouth watering, Redtail tensed, ready to spring. In a blur of brown fur, the rabbit shot out of the undergrowth, running full tilt closer to Tigerclaw than Redtail. Redtail let himself relax a bit, knowing the bigger warrior could take it down alone. Just as Tigerclaw leaped, another blur of fur, a cat, burst out of the undergrowth and leaped too. Redtail watched in horror as Tigerclaw and the smaller cat collided in midair and fell to the ground with a heavy thud, tangled together and spitting with rage and shock. The rabbit dodged away under the undergrowth and was lost before Redtail even thought of pouncing. "Get off of me!" Tigerclaw snarled, and the other cat sprang to her paws, looking indignant.
"That was my rabbit!" she yelled. "You made me lose my rabbit!"
She was barely as big as the rabbit herself, Redtail saw, and clearly an apprentice. Despite her size, she glared at Tigerclaw furiously, her brown and gray fur bristling with fury. "Har, rabbit," Tigerclaw corrected, sliding out his claws. "I'd like to know what you think you're doing hunting ThunderClan prey on ThunderClan territory."
"It is not!" the apprentice hissed scornfully. "Is it, Stagleap?" She looked over her shoulder, her eyes wide with confusion. "Stagleap?" For the first time, she seemed to realize that she was alone. But a moment later, she puffed up her fur and was glaring at them both again. Despite himself, Redtail felt a rising admiration for her bravery. "You're a WindClan apprentice, aren't you?" Redtail asked, recognizing her from the last full moon meeting. "Sorrelpaw, right? What are you doing here?" "I'm hunting," she told him, her tail curling behind her. And no matter what you two say, WindClan cats have just as much of a right to hunt at 4 trees as you do. ThunderClan doesn't own everything, she sniffed. No wonder you're always fighting with RiverClan over those sunning rocks. What a bunch of bullies!
The fur rose on Tigerclaw's shoulders. The border between 4 trees and ThunderClan territory is 5 tail lengths behind you. Don't WindClan mentors teach their apprentices how to recognize borders?
For the first time, Sauropaw looked shaken. She looked back towards 4 trees, her tail weaving uncertainly.
Tigerclaw went on. Clearly WindClan doesn't teach apprentices to respect their elders either. We should fix that.
His cold amber gaze swung to Redtail.
What? Redtail blinked. She's just an apprentice, Tigerclaw. Her mentor isn't even with her. Tigerclaw stalked closer to him, dropping his voice to a murmur. If she wasn't trying to start trouble, she wouldn't have strayed from her own territory. I don't think this is a good idea, Redtail mewed, backing away. Clearly, Tigerclaw didn't care that Sauropaw was only an apprentice. We're still in a conflict with RiverClan over Sunning Rocks. Do you really want to start trouble with WindClan too? I'm a warrior, Tigerclaw hissed, and I'm not going to let any cat disrespect my clan or our borders. What about you, Redtail? I thought you'd grown into a brave ThunderClan warrior. He looked slyly at Redtail out of the corner of his eyes. Are you still a mouse-hearted paw? No! Redtail's back stiffened. He knew Tigerclaw was talking about how he'd frozen on the bridge all those moons ago. Tigerclaw had saved him then. Maybe the older warrior really did know best. He owed Tigerclaw his life. He would follow his lead. Swallowing hard, he turned to look at Sauropaw. The apprentice looked smaller than ever to him. I won't hurt her too badly. Maybe she would be able to sense his intentions and wouldn't be too scared. He approached slowly, growling and baring his teeth. He half-hoped Sauropaw would seize the chance to turn tail and run. But instead, the little apprentice arched her back and hissed at him, sliding out her claws. Redtail glanced back at Tigerclaw, who was watching it with narrowed eyes, and sprang. Easily tumbling Sauropaw over, he slammed her against the ground. The apprentice gasped, the breath knocked out of her. But a moment later, she was fighting hard. Her claws raked across Redtail's belly, stinging sharply. Hot with rage and pain, he pinned her, holding her down, and sank his teeth into her shoulder. Warm blood burst in his mouth, and Sauropaw shrieked in agony. Tear her apart, Redtail! Tigerclaw hissed. There was something nastily pleased about his voice. Shocked, Redtail released Sauropaw and staggered backwards. Tear her apart? He felt suddenly queasy, his mouth full of the taste of blood. Hey! The voice came from the border. Redtail looked up, a stocky brown tom, much larger than most of the underfed, fast-running WindClan. He was pushing his broad shoulders through the undergrowth, staring at the scene before him with round, shocked, ambered eyes. Get away from her! Stagleap, Redtail stammered, imagining how the scene must look through the other cat's eyes. The apprentice trembling, her fur wet with blood. Redtail and Tigerclaw looming over her ominously, so much larger and older. Full-grown warriors attacking a lone apprentice? He felt hot with shame. The WindClan Tom ran up to his apprentice's side and gently nosed her wounds. Sauropaw, can you get up? He helped the wincing apprentice to her paws and let her lean against his side, then turned to the ThunderClan warriors, his expression turning from concern to anger. Which of you did this? Redtail swallowed hard and stared at the ground. What have I done? Does it matter? Tigerclaw hissed, puffing out his chest. The real question is, why did you let her go racing onto ThunderClan land after our prey? Is WindClan so pathetic that they can't catch rabbits on their own territory? Pathetic? Stagleap echoed, bristling. The two of you beating up an apprentice? That's pathetic. Nudging Sauropaw to stand on her own, he paced towards Tigerclaw, stopping less than a whisker's length from the other cat. Why didn't you pick on a cat your own size? He growled. Tigerclaw looked almost pleased. his tail curling above his back as he unsheathed his claws. "It was me!" Redtail broke out hurriedly, before they could start fighting. He couldn't let Tigerclaw take all the blame. "I attacked Sorrelpaw because she was hunting on our territory." He hung his head. I didn't mean to be so rough, and I'm sorry we didn't wait for you before." "We've got nothing to apologize for," Tigerclaw interrupted, his eyes cold. "The apprentice trespassed on our territory and needed to be taught a lesson." The end of Stagleap's tail twitched as he hunkered down, ready to spring. "I think that it's maybe the two of you that need to be taught a lesson," he muttered. He moved forward until they were nearly nose to nose. The two Toms looked evenly matched, Redtail saw, both huge and muscular. But Stagleap was older and a more experienced warrior. He might be more than a match for Tigerclaw. "Go ahead and try," Tigerclaw taunted. He looked excited, almost eager. "I'll have to fight too," Redtail realized, his stomach sinking. "I can't abandon Tigerclaw, but Stagleap is so huge." The big Toms glared at each other for a long moment, muscles tensed, teeth bared. Then, just behind Stagleap, Sorrelpaw wobbled on her paws, giving a small whimper. Fresh blood from her wound was running down her side. Redtail noticed with a pang of guilt. Stagleap broke eye contact with Tigerclaw and looked down at his apprentice, his gaze softening. "You'll be okay, Sorrelpaw," he told her, shifting his eyes back to Tigerclaw and Redtail. "I'd love to tear your fur off, but it'll have to wait for another day. I'm taking Sorrelpaw back to WindClan." Tigerclaw hissed, but Redtail said quickly, "Okay, of course." Stagleap looked sternly at him. "I'm sure Sunstar doesn't know anything about this," he meowed. "He's an honorable leader. Out of respect for him, I'm gonna report this to Heatherstar so she can give him a chance to make it right. But if Sunstar doesn't get his warriors under control, you can be sure that WindClan will be back to settle this." "Spitting threats while you run away does sound like WindClan," Tigerclaw retorted smoothly. "But if you do come back, I'll be waiting." "Me too," Redtail added, wincing at his own words. I have to support Tigerclaw, don't I?" With a sigh, Stagleap turned back on them and coaxed Sorrelpaw into motion, heading back towards Four Trees. The little apprentice was limping and leaning heavily against Stagleap, clearly in pain. "You did well, Redtail," Tigerclaw murmured as they watched them go. "We can't let WindClan cats think they can get away with crossing our borders." I suppose that's true, Redtail thought, but his mouth felt dry and sour, and the shallow scratches along his belly stung. There was a guilty, queasy feeling in his stomach. If I did the right thing, why do I feel so wrong? Chapter 5. As he padded back into camp beside Tigerclaw, Redtail ached all over. He longed for the cool darkness of the warrior's den, where he could lie down in his nest and try to forget what had happened. At the sight of them, Running Kit and Mouse Kit abandoned the ball of moss they were batting back and forth across the clearing and ran towards them.
Redtail! Redtail! Running Kit yelled. Did you get any prey?
We forgot the bowl, Redtail realized.
Mouse Kit followed, her eyes wide.
Did you get hurt? She asked, looking at the scratches on Redtail's side. Was it badgers? Were you very brave?
No, I wasn't brave. I was cruel. Redtail ignored them, stalking past the kids towards the warrior's den. He couldn't tell them what had happened, what he'd done. We don't have time to talk now, kits, Tigerclaw meowed importantly. We have to report to Sunstar. Redtail, wait! Halfway into the warrior's den, Redtail stopped and turned around to look at Tigerclaw. What? Tigerclaw came forward and circled around Redtail, blocking his path. Where do you think you're going? You have to come with me so we can tell Sunstar what happened.
What did happen?
Mouse Kit asked curiously,
but both Toms ignored her.
Mouse Kit, Running Kit, stop bothering them and come here, Whiteeye called, and the kits ran off. Redtail felt a surge of gratitude to Whiteeye. He didn't want the kids to hear any of this. What would Sunstar think? Redtail had been considering the fight with Sorrelpaw on the walk back to camp, and he thought Stagleap was right.
Sunstar wouldn't be too impressed that Redtail had beaten up an apprentice. I guess I should get this over with, he said grimly. Tigerclaw nudged him towards Sunstar's den. Just follow my lead. As they approached the high rock, Sunstar pushed his way through the lichen that covered the entrance to his den. What's the matter? He asked, seeing the expressions on Redtail and Tigerclaw's faces. We've got trouble, Tigerclaw warned before Redtail could respond. Sunstar's eyes widened in alarm. Come inside and tell me what you mean. Tigerclaw and Redtail followed Sunstar into his den. How can I explain why I attacked Sorrelpaw? Redtail wondered guiltily. But he didn't have to speak at all. Once inside, Tigerclaw began talking immediately. We were hunting in the woods near Four Trees, stalking a juicy rabbit, he explained. Just as we were about to catch it, a WindClan apprentice, Sorrelpaw, came over the border from Four Trees. She scared off our prey on purpose, just out of spite, then blamed us for hunting on our own territory. Sunstar cocked his head to one side. Just an apprentice making a mistake over border markers, surely. It happens. I hope you gave her a scolding and sent her back to WindClan. Tigerclaw looked solemn. I thought so too. But when I pointed out the boundary, she hissed at me and said it was time WindClan taught us a lesson. She said that ThunderClan were just a bunch of bullies, and that we thought that everything belonged to us. Redtail stared at Tigerclaw in surprise. Sorrelpaw did say that, but that's not exactly how it happened. Tigerclaw was making the whole fight sound like Sorrelpaw had been starting trouble on purpose, and Tigerclaw had been calm and kind. Tigerclaw shot him a warning look, and Redtail closed his mouth again. Maybe Tigerclaw had seen something that Redtail hadn't in the apprentice's behavior. We waited for Sorrelpaw's mentor, Tigerclaw went on. We assumed that she was out of control, and that he'd want to know what trouble she'd been starting. It was Stagleap, that big WindClan warrior. Sunstar nodded. He knew who Stagleap was. When we told Stagleap what Sorrelpaw had done, he just laughed and asked what we were planning to do about it. And they scratched Redtail. Redtail, show Sunstar! Redtail turned slightly to show Sunstar the shallow scratches on his side. Sunstar examined them seriously. He flicked his ear nervously. Tigerclaw is twisting things. Sunstar wouldn't be so impressed by these wounds if he saw what I did to Sorrelpaw. Stagleap said there was nothing we could do, Tigerclaw finished. He said it isn't like Sunstar will attack. He won't want to make WindClan angry. Sunstar's eyes widened and he bristled. He said that, did he? He did, Tigerclaw answered. That's when Redtail drove them away. Redtail winced. He'd overpowered an apprentice and hurt her. But he hadn't driven anyone away. He remembered the disgusted look on Stagleap's face and the wave of shame that washed over him. But as they left, Stagleap said that he'd be back. Tigerclaw lowered his tail, looking worried. Sunstar, WindClan is ignoring our border and disrespecting our leader. We need to prove to them that we can defend ourselves. Tigerclaw turned to Redtail. Right? Redtail's head was spinning. Was Tigerclaw trying to start a battle with WindClan? Why was the Big Tom always so eager to fight? He'd done the same thing with RiverClan when the Hawk had attacked. But then Redtail had an upsetting thought. He didn't tell things the way they'd happened with WindClan. Why would he lie? Did he do the same thing with RiverClan? Tigerclaw nudged Redtail, waiting for his agreement. I owe Tigerclaw my life, Redtail remembered. He owed Tigerclaw everything. He couldn't call him a liar. But Redtail couldn't bring himself to back up Tigerclaw's story either. The silence seemed to stretch on for moons. Finally, Sunstar sighed. There's a gathering tonight, he meowed. I'll talk to WindClan then, and see what Heatherstar has to say. She's a reasonable cat. Maybe we can both work this out without any bloodshed. Yes, Sunstar. Tigerclaw nodded, dipping his head respectfully. There was a strange, sullen light in his eyes. Redtail was beginning to think that a peaceful solution was the last thing Tigerclaw wanted. The cold light of the full moon shone down onto Four Trees, throwing shadows from the 4 tall oaks across the cats gathered below. Redtail ruffled his pelt, his gaze sweeping over the other clans, searching for Sorrelpaw. She wasn't there, he realized. Had he hurt her too badly for her to come? Or had she simply been left behind to guard the WindClan camp?
Our first gathering as warriors! Willowpelt breathed beside him, looking awestruck.
Yeah, Redtail muttered. If he hadn't hurt Sorrelpaw, he would have been just as thrilled as Willowpelt. Looking at the WindClan cats, he saw Stagleap deep in conversation with Talltail, the WindClan cat's black and white deputy, and Redtail crouched a little, unwilling to catch the WindClan warrior's eye. A loud yell from the great rock at the center of the clearing gathered the cats together. From the top of the rock, Sunstar looked down on the warriors below. On either side of him stood Cedarstar, the Shadow Clan leader, and Crookedstar, who had recently become RiverClan's leader, after Hellstar lost his 9th life. Heatherstar, the leader of WindClan, stood to the other side of Crookedstar. Redtail looked at the sleek, pale gray she-cat apprehensively. What had Stagleap told her? And what was Sunstar going to say? Was he going to repeat the lies that Tigerclaw had told him? Near Redtail, Tigerclaw gazed up at the clan leaders. His face calm, but the tip of his tail twitching as though he was waiting for something. What does Tigerclaw want to happen? Cedarstar cleared his throat. New Leaf has brought prey to ShadowClan's territory. Redtail's mind wandered as first ShadowClan's, then RiverClan's leader shared the news of their clans. Heatherstar spoke too, and Redtail listened to her attentively, but she didn't mention the conflict at the border. As Sunstar stepped forward next, Redtail snapped to attention, his heart pounding. After a hard leaf bear, prey is running well in ThunderClan, Sunstar said. We had a bout of white cough go through the camp, but Featherwhisker and Spotted-Paw were able to treat it, and the last of the ill cats left the medicine cat den a few days ago. He looked out onto the cats below him, and his eyes caught Redtail's. Redtail tensed, dread filling his belly. What would happen when Heatherstar told Sunstar the truth? And Sunstar realized that he and Tigerclaw had lied. We have 2 new warriors in ThunderClan, Sunstar announced instead. Redtail and Willowpelt. The cats around them murmured their congratulations, and Willowpelt purred with pride. Redtail wanted to feel the same way, but he was too nervous. Once the chatter had died down, Sunstar spoke again. Unfortunately, something happened today at the boundary between Four Trees and ThunderClan. A WindClan apprentice crossed the boundary, scaring away prey, and picked a fight with 2 of ThunderClan's warriors. He looked sharply at Heatherstar. I'd like your assurance that that isn't going to happen again. Heatherstar looked thoughtful. I heard about the fight, although the story I heard was a bit different, she meowed. She paused, and Redtail's chest suddenly felt tight with fear. Will she tell Sunstar what really happened? But after a moment, the WindClan leader went on. Mistakes will happen from time to time, especially with apprentices. Warriors should be patient with them. Is she looking at me? Redtail wondered. He couldn't tell. But of course, the borders must be honored. Heatherstar went on. I know Sunstar will agree to put this behind us, so we can avoid further conflict. In the crowd below, Tigerclaw laid back his ears. Is she calling Sunstar weak? He murmured to Thistleclaw beside him, in a meow that was just a bit too loud. Sunstar clearly heard him, and the fur on his shoulders rose. If WindClan can get its cats into line and have them show some respect, there won't be a reason to fight, he hissed. Surprised rumblings rose from the crowd. Is Sunstar threatening WindClan? A small white RiverClan Tom asked, his eyes wide. It's time we showed the other clans that they can't cross ThunderClan's boundaries without consequences, Thistleclaw replied, and Tigerclaw nodded. All across the clearing, fur was rising. Hissing and grumbles broke through the usual friendly chatter of the gathering. Redtail's chest felt hollow. Was this full moon gathering going to end in a battle? Surely it couldn't. The gathering was always a time of peace. Up on the great rock, Cedarstar flicked his dark gray tail. Do we really need to air all of these petty grievances at the gathering? Some of us have business back at our own camps. I agree, Crookedstar, probably relieved to avoid getting caught up in a fight after several moons of peace with ThunderClan, leaped from the great rock. RiverClan cats, follow me! As the RiverClan cats began to stream out, Redtail quickly made his way across the clearing towards Stagleap. The Big Tom might not want to talk to Redtail. He might want to tear his pelt off. And I deserve it, Redtail thought miserably. But he had to find out if Sorrelpaw was okay. Was Sorrelpaw too hurt to come to the gathering?
He asked as soon as he was close to Stagleap.
Stagleap turned, looking startled. She's sore, but she'll be alright, he replied. No thanks to you. I didn't want to hurt her, Redtail meowed apologetically. I was just doing my duty. Your duty? Stagleap repeated. He stared at Redtail for a long moment before he spoke again. You haven't been a warrior for very long now, have you, Redtail? Warriors are supposed to teach apprentices, not hurt them. Even the other clan's apprentices. Your duty was to scold her and send her home, or wait for me to come and show her where she'd gone wrong. Tigerclaw was right that we had to defend our boundary, Redtail insisted, bristling, but he still felt hollow with grief. What threat was Sorrelpaw to ThunderClan? Stagleap hissed. I know Tigerclaw's style. I knew before you told me that it must have been you who fought Sorrelpaw, because Tigerclaw would have torn her apart. Tear her apart! Redtail's stomach twisted, remembering Tigerclaw's instructions. No, he murmured. Tigerclaw's just a brave warrior. A good warrior. Stagleap narrowed his eyes. He's brave for sure, but there's more to being a good warrior than fighting. Redtail felt uncertain and off balance. I'm worried that what happened is going to cause a battle between our clans, he meowed. Sunstar and Heatherstar seemed really angry. Getting to his feet, Stagleap stretched, arcing his back. You got more sense than your clanmate, then. Much as I'd like to rip his fur off, I don't want a battle either. But what can we do? Redtail felt helpless. Heatherstar's a wise leader. She isn't going to jump into a battle without a good reason, Stagleap explained. And I've always heard the same about Sunstar. When we get back to our camps, let's talk to them. We're the ones who were there. Maybe we can make them see that we don't have to fight over this. Okay. A wave of relief rushed over Redtail. Stagleap seemed so sensible, his gaze open and steady. Not like Tigerclaw, a little voice inside him said, but Redtail shook it off. Surely Tigerclaw would help him talk to Sunstar before a battle could begin. He'd gotten over-enthusiastic about defending our borders. But no warrior wanted an unnecessary fight. ThunderClan cats, follow me! Sunstar's yell cut across the clearing, and Redtail jumped. I'd better go, he meowed. Thanks. I hope Sorrelpaw feels better. Big WindClan Tom nodded. Goodbye, Redtail. Redtail hurried along at the back of the group of ThunderClan cats returning to camp. Ahead, he could see Sunstar in the lead, Bluefur beside him. As he watched, Tigerclaw and Thistleclaw fell into step beside them. What is Tigerclaw saying to them? Redtail wondered. He hoped Tigerclaw wouldn't encourage their leader towards a battle. As much as it pained Redtail to admit it, Stagleap had been right about what Tigerclaw had meant to do to Sorrelpaw. So, was the WindClan cat also right that Tigerclaw was always eager to fight? I owe him everything! But does that mean I have to follow him no matter what? He would wait for a calm moment to talk to Sunstar, Redtail decided. Somehow he would make the leader see reason. But when they entered camp, Sunstar leaped with one easy bound to the top of High Rock. All cats old enough to catch their own prey, gather beneath the High Rock, he called. Bluefur stood below him, her face solemn. Whiteeye stuck her head out of the nursery.
What's happening?
She asked. The elders were emerging from their den too, and warriors who had been left at camp during the gathering were hurrying towards the High Rock, their ears pricked with interest. Heatherstar has refused to discipline her clan for crossing our boundaries and stealing our prey, Sunstar meowed grimly. Hisses and angry yowls came from the crowd below. WindClan cats are too hungry to be trusted, Sparrowpelt called. They don't have enough prey in their own territory. They're always going to try to steal from other clans.
That's true. Dappletail agreed, her amber eyes bright. But I always thought Heatherstar had too much pride to let them break the warrior code.
It's time to remind WindClan that ThunderClan can defend its territory, Sunstar continued. Tomorrow, we'll send a patrol to attack WindClan. Redtail couldn't believe it. It was one apprentice crossing the border, not an invasion, he burst out.
Willowpelt nudged his side. I don't think they're going to listen to a brand new warrior, she whispered.
It stopped being about one apprentice when Heatherstar said we wouldn't dare to break the peace over it,
Tigerclaw yowled. He was standing near the high rock, looking up at Sunstar.
The apprentice is only the first. If we don't defend ourselves, more WindClan cats will try crossing our borders and stealing our prey. Tigerclaw is right,
Sunstar agreed, his expression hard.
If we won't fight for our territory, we'll lose it. We need to show them that we're serious. Tigerclaw suggested that a patrol enter WindClan's camp and do as much damage as they can. We don't need to hurt them, but if we show them that we can easily get into their camp, they'll think twice about crossing our borders again.
As he jumped down from the high rock, he nodded to Tigerclaw approvingly.
He's not going to change his mind now, no matter what I say,
Redtail realized dismally. I will be leading the patrol, and Tigerclaw, Redtail, Thistleclaw, Thrushpelt, and Patchpelt will come with me. We'll head out first thing in the morning.
Redtail's belly felt as though it was being gripped by sharp claws. I have to be a part of this?
The clan was dispersing, heading back to their dens or to the fresh kill pile. Another pelt brushed his, and Redtail smelled Tigerclaw's familiar scent.
Are you excited?
The big warrior asked cheerfully.
Maybe you can finish teaching that little apprentice a lesson. This isn't the right thing to do!
Redtail cried. He felt like wailing.
Of course it is, Tigerclaw purred.
He sounded pleased with himself, and looked it too. His eyes bright and his tail curling high above his back.
The most important thing for a warrior is to fight to defend our clan and our territory.
His amber eyes stared deep into Redtail's.
And I want you right by my side, Redtail. I'll teach you what a warrior should be.
Come on, Redtail, you have to get up! Willowpelt's voice broke through Redtail's uneasy sleep, and he raised his head, blinking blearily in the pale dawn light. As the youngest warriors, his and Willowpelt's nests were near the edge of the warrior's den, far from the warm, comfortable spots at the center, and a cool breeze was blowing through his fur. The den was crowded with cats stretching and climbing out of their cozy nests, shivering in the cold morning air. I wish I was going, Frostfur mewed to Brindleface, her paws resting on the edge of her sister's nest. I'd teach WindClan to keep their claws off our prey. Redtail's heart sank. How could he go to fight WindClan today when just yesterday he and Stagleap had agreed to try to talk their leaders into peace? If he attacked and Stagleap had counseled Heatherstar to make peace, how could Stagleap feel anything but betrayed? Stagleap would never trust any ThunderClan cat again, and with good reason. He followed the other young warriors into the clearing, his paws heavy and slow. As the 3 she-cats joined the other cats already there, Redtail hesitated. Maybe I still have time to talk to Sunstar. If I tell him Tigerclaw and I lied... What then? That would be a far worse betrayal than anything he could do to Stagleap. Redtail had a duty to Tigerclaw. Tigerclaw had saved his life when he was just an apprentice, and Tigerclaw had the right to expect loyalty from Redtail in return. And Redtail owed his loyalty to ThunderClan, not to any WindClan cat. Tigerclaw was near the high rock, sharing a piece of prey with Thistleclaw. At the sight of Redtail, he stood up, stretched, and sauntered over.
We're leaving as soon as every cat is ready, he instructed. Get yourself a mouse or something. You'll need your strength.
Okay, Redtail meowed, moving obediently towards the fresh kill pile. Tigerclaw followed.
Sunstar wants us to concentrate on making a mess of their camp,
he added as Redtail crouched to pick up a sparrow.
But if you see that apprentice Sorrelpaw again, or her so-called mentor, don't hesitate to claw their fur off. We need to show all the clans what happens to cats who cross ThunderClan's borders. Redtail dropped the sparrow. Sauropod didn't cross our border on purpose, he burst out. Please, Tigerclaw, let's talk to Sunstar. If we tell him what really happened, maybe he'll change his mind about this. Tigerclaw's eyes narrowed. What really happened? He came closer. Redtail could smell the mouse on his breath. We told Sunstar what really happened. No, we didn't, Redtail retorted. You told Sunstar that we waited for Stagleap to show up after we caught Sauropod in our territory, and that they insulted ThunderClan and attacked us before we drove them off. That's not what happened at all. Maybe we saw what happened differently, Redtail. Tigerclaw growled with a dismissive flick of his tail. And I know you're young and you've just become a warrior. You really don't understand yet. That's not the point, Redtail insisted. I know what the truth is. But the uncertainty squirmed uncomfortably in his belly. Maybe Tigerclaw was right. Everyone knew that he was one of the best warriors in ThunderClan. Maybe Redtail just didn't understand. Tigerclaw looked amused. What you have to remember is that WindClan is our enemy, he said. Anything that makes them weaker makes us stronger. Is that true? Redtail wondered. He'd always thought of the other clans in the forest as ThunderClan's allies. Remember, Tigerclaw meowed softly, nodding at the sparrow at Redtail's feet. There is only so much prey in the forest. If WindClan hunts in our territory, ThunderClan cats will go hungry. Redtail stared down at the sparrow unhappily. I guess you're right, he murmured. A new thought struck him, and he looked up eagerly. But is this going to make ThunderClan stronger? There are a lot of cats in WindClan, and we're going straight into their camp with just a patrol. Tigerclaw gave a pleased meow. There might be a lot of cats in WindClan, but most of them will be out of the camp on a fine day like today, hunting and patrolling. Other than a guard or two, we'll be facing elders, queens, and kits. They won't fight us, but we won't even have to hurt them. We'll just damage their camp and teach them a lesson. With another flick of his tail, he added, Not that I'd mind facing Stagleap again, but Sunstar wants us to do this quickly and cleanly, without much of a fight. Oh, Redtail murmured. I see now. That wasn't so bad, he supposed. After all, WindClan was their enemy. Sort of. And if no cat was going to be hurt, perhaps it didn't matter that Sunstar didn't know the whole story.
We won't bother trying to sneak up on them, Bluefur declared as they left ThunderClan's camp and headed through the forest towards Four Trees. The whole point of this is to show the other clans that ThunderClan isn't afraid to defend what's ours. The 6 cats crossed through their own territory and between the tall oaks of Four Trees without pausing, Bluefur taking the lead. Tigerclaw and Thistleclaw followed close behind her, shoulder to shoulder. It was a clear day and the early morning sun warmed Redtail's pelt. It was a good day for hunting, or just basking in the new leaf warmth. And Redtail could almost pretend that their plans were that innocent. Redtail dropped back to walk with Thrushpelt and Patchpelt. Have you ever been to WindClan's camp? He asked them. Thrushpelt shook his head, but Patchpelt nodded. I went on to WindClan territory a few moons ago with Featherwhisker when he said he needed to talk to Barkface about medicine cat business, and the patrol escorted us back into their camp. Patchpelt wrinkled his nose a little bit. It was weird. Except for the kits and elders, they sleep right out in the open. They don't have proper dens like we do. Wow, Redtail breathed. How much damage can we even do if WindClan doesn't have nests to destroy? Thought eased some of the anxious feelings of wrongness inside of him. On the other side of Four Trees, Bluefur paused at the bottom of the slope covered with bushes. At the top of this is WindClan's territory, she told them, looking mostly at Redtail. When we reach the top, I'll lead you all to the camp. It's hard to see if you don't already know where it is. If we're quick enough, any WindClan warriors out patrolling won't be able to make it back before we're gone. The slope grew steeper and rockier as they climbed until Redtail was leaping from boulder to boulder, clinging to the rocks, his claws out for any traction they could give him.
You alright? Patchpelt asked, sounding slightly breathless beside him. This is a tough climb for smaller cats like us. It was kind of him to lump himself and Redtail together, Redtail thought. He wasn't even as big as the small black and white Tom yet. But this is the only way to get into WindClan territory without crossing the river, which is even harder. I'm okay, Redtail told him, trying not to wheeze. But I'm surprised WindClan bothered to come down here to hunt. Patchpelt slipped on the mossy stone and then caught himself. They need prey, he meowed. And it's easier for them. Long-legged rabbit chasers. They're practically rabbits themselves. He and Redtail shared a morale of laughter. At the top of the slope, Redtail stared wide-eyed across an open grassy plain, broken by occasional groups of thin trees and scraggly gorse bushes. Outcroppings of bare rock dotted the grasslands, and the wind swept across the plain, blending the grasses and trees. It seemed chilly and bleak to Redtail, and he shivered. The edge of the plateau smelled strongly of WindClan's earthy scent. The cats exchanged glances, and Bluefur led the way across the border markings. The camp's over there, Patchpelt told Redtail, pointing with his tail. In that dip in the moorland. Redtail peered towards the hollow, but saw nothing in the tangle of gorse. Bluefur began to run across the open, scrubby land, and the other cats followed her. Redtail took deep breaths of the cool air, his paws pounding across the grasslands. It felt strange to have no trees above to shelter him, only the wide blue sky. But he tried to ignore that, instead focusing on the stretch of his muscles as he ran. The patrol charged straight through the gorse, thorns scratching at their pelts. Redtail hissed as one caught painfully in his fur, but he didn't slow his pace. Bursting through the last of the bushes, they found themselves in WindClan's camp. A clearing protected by gorse bushes all around, that opened to the sky. There was a tall boulder in the center of the camp, and the cats laying below it in the sunshine looked up, startled. A light brown she-cat, Dowspring, Redtail thought, leaped to her feet, hissing in outrage. What are you doing here? She yelled. Get out or we'll rip you to shreds! The lithe gray and white Tom beside her, who Redtail remembered was called Aspenfall, growled at them, showing his teeth. Despite Dowspring's threat, Redtail could see that ThunderClan had been right. There were a few cats in the camp, and, except for Dowspring and Aspenfall, who must have been left to guard the camp, almost none of them were warriors. Two thin old cats peered out from a den carved from the gorse wall. That must be the Elder's den. One yowled loudly in alarm. A hissing gray tabby she-cat blocked the entrance to another. Her fur spiked out, her claws out. Stay back, she snarled. We're not going to hurt your kits, Ryestock, Thrushpelt said reassuringly, inching closer to her. Her tail bushed out even further. Get away from the nursery! Before Thrushpelt could say anything else, Tigerclaw slashed his claws across Ryestock's shoulder, making her wail with pain and surprise. Take your kits and get out of the nursery, he hissed. Or it'll be your fault when they get hurt. Eyes wide with fear, Ryestock hustled her two kits out of the nursery, and as far from the invading cats as possible. The kits peered up at the ThunderClan cats, confused. Who's that, Ryestock? One of them, a small brown Tom, squeaked, his nose wrinkled. They smell funny. Hush, Mudkit, she murmured. Stay behind me. Crowding the kits into a gorse bush behind her, she lowered her ears, snarling at the ThunderClan cats. Redtail stared guiltily at the blood running down the queen's shoulder and soaking into her fur. No one was supposed to get hurt. Thrushpelt had already begun tearing apart the WindClan nursery, and Redtail reluctantly moved forward to help him, yanking out soft nests and tearing at the gorse walls. As he dragged a nest of moss and sheep's wool out into the clearing, Redtail looked up to see Thistleclaw and Patchpelt doing the same thing in the Elder's den, as Bluefur held off the Elders, who were fiercely trying to defend their nest despite seeming frail. Tigerclaw had drawn Dowspring and Aspenfall into a fight, distracting them from helping Ryestock or the Elders. As Redtail watched, Tigerclaw crouched and slashed at Dowspring's belly, his claws ripping through her fur, and the she-cat lurched backwards with a pained screech. Redtail winced in sympathy. Arcface, WindClan's young medicine cat, stood squarely in front of his den, snarling protectively. As Redtail watched, Patchpelt took a hesitant step towards him. "Not the medicine cat den!" Bluefur called sharply, dodging a blow from one of the elders. Relief rushed through Redtail. If they destroyed the medicine cat's den, WindClan cats might die. This fight wasn't worth that. We aren't going to do anything terrible here, he thought. We're just teaching them a lesson. No matter how many times he told himself that, it still didn't feel true. "You're too soft, Bluefur," he taunted the she-cat. "I'm still the ThunderClan deputy," she answered. "And I say leave the medicine cat den alone." Tigerclaw seemed ready to argue, but a sudden yowl of rage drew all of their attention to the camp's entrance. WindClan warriors were streaming back into their camp, Stagleap in the lead. Perhaps they'd heard the shrieks and hisses of fighting cats. Redtail didn't know. Stagleap cast him one disappointed look, and Redtail looked away, suddenly conscious of the shredded debris of the nursery all around his paws. "It's not my fault!" he wanted to yowl. But was that true? He knew what had really happened. He could have talked to Sunstar. He could have tried harder to talk Tigerclaw out of this. Guilt blocked his throat. There was nothing he could say now. Stagleap threw himself at Tigerclaw, and in a heartbeat, they became a furiously fighting mass of fur, their dark brown pelts difficult to tell apart as they tussled. The other WindClan cats were attacking. Talltail, WindClan's deputy, leaped for Bluefur's throat. A cat barreled into Redtail's side while he was distracted, knocking him to the ground. Sharp pain spread through his shoulder. Plumclaw was holding him down, her claws ripping at his pelt. Redtail struggled beneath the small gray she-cat, panting. He couldn't get to his feet. He had to protect his underbelly. Then he remembered a move Sparrowpelt had taught him. He stopped struggling for a moment, rolling fully onto his back. As Plumclaw shifted her weight to keep from falling, he kicked up with his hind legs, knocking her away so he could scramble back up to his paws. Thrushpelt was swiping fiercely at Hickory Nose, who howled in pain, and Plumclaw turned to slash at Thrushpelt with her claws. Redtail looked up at the mass of fighting cats all around him just as Talltail slashed Bluefur across the throat. Bluefur stumbled, blood running down her chest and dripping onto the ground. "Bluefur!" Redtail yowled and sprang towards her, shouldering Plumclaw out of the way. Talltail was bracing himself for another attack. "No!" Redtail hissed fiercely. "We're going!" Talltail hesitated, and Redtail braced himself against Bluefur's side. "Bluefur, you have to call a retreat!" he added urgently. Bluefur was leaning heavily against Redtail's side. "Bluefur?" he asked. The deputy seemed dazed, her eyes fluttering shut. Redtail could barely support her weight. She can't do it, Redtail realized. Bluefur was barely conscious. He looked around at the clawing, struggling cats. There were too many WindClan cats now. ThunderClan was outnumbered. As he watched, Patchpelt fell beneath two WindClan warriors. Bluefur moaned. "If we stay here, she'll die," Redtail realized. "We've already lost this battle. Other ThunderClan cats might die too." "ThunderClan! Retreat!" he yelled as loudly as he could. Tigerclaw knocked Stagleap away from him. There was a long scratch along the ThunderClan warrior's face, but his amber eyes were alight and fierce with joy. "What do you mean, retreat?" he snarled. But the other ThunderClan warriors had, like Redtail, clearly realized the battle had been lost. Thrushpelt came up to Bluefur's other side, and between them, he and Redtail supported Bluefur towards the tunnel through the gorse. The other ThunderClan warriors raced after them. "Run away, ThunderClan!" Mocking yells and threats rose behind them. The race back towards Fortress was like a nightmare. Redtail gasping for breath as he struggled beneath Bluefur's half-conscious weight. As their paws hit the grass of Fortress, Redtail and Thrushpelt paused for a moment to catch their breath. "Cowards!" Tigerclaw hissed. Redtail turned to face him. The big brown tabby's face was contorted with rage. We had to retreat," Redtail panted. His shoulder ached and his paw pads were burning. Every heartbeat they stopped here to argue. Bluefur might be dying. "Look at her!" Tigerclaw's gaze slid over Bluefur. We should have finished the fight for her. No true warrior would run away from a battle. You've brought shame on the whole clan, Redtail. Have I? Bluefur's breath rattled harshly in her chest, and Redtail realized he was quite sure that he hadn't. I did the right thing, he insisted, his eyes steady on Tigerclaw. True warriors protect their clanmates. This battle was never worth fighting. Tigerclaw hissed again, but said nothing. Thistleclaw and Patchpelt took Redtail and Threshpelt's places supporting Bluefur, giving the other cats a chance to catch their breath, and they hurried towards ThunderClan's territory. Redtail was at the back of the group, tired and sore as they reached the entrance to ThunderClan's camp. As the others disappeared into the ravine, Bluefur supported between them, Tigerclaw turned to face Redtail. "Nice move," he hissed, his amber eyes dark with anger. "What do you mean?" Redtail asked. "Trying to make it look like you're all worried about Bluefur," Tigerclaw scoffed. "You're just a coward. You always have been, ever since you were a paw and I had to save you from that bridge. So much for loyalty. So much for the life you owe me." Redtail didn't drop his head in guilt or gratitude. He glared straight back into Tigerclaw's eyes. He felt as though he was seeing Tigerclaw for the first time. Where was the brave warrior that had saved him from the hawk? This cat had bullied an apprentice, had lied to their leader, and had done everything he could to start a battle no cat needed. And Redtail had let him. And he wasn't going to make that mistake again. "I am worried about Bluefur," he hissed back in a fierce, low whisper. "Your stupid grudge almost got her killed, and I don't owe you anything anymore." He pushed past Tigerclaw and headed into ThunderClan's camp. He was loyal, and he knew what being loyal meant. It wasn't Tigerclaw that he owed his loyalty to. It was ThunderClan. Chapter 7. "You're the one who called a retreat," Tigerclaw snarled, glaring at Redtail. "What kind of deputy gives up territory?" Redtail glared back at the older warrior. New leaf after new leaf had passed since the failed attack on WindClan's camp. Sunstar had lost his last life and gone on to StarClan long ago. Bluefur had become ThunderClan's leader, and although both Thistleclaw and Tigerclaw had expected to be chosen, she'd named Redtail her deputy instead. Elders had died, kits had been born, warriors had moved to the Elders' Den, and apprentices had completed their training to become full warriors. And yet, as Redtail stood in the Leader's Den, listening to Tigerclaw and Bluestar, the argument sounded exactly the same that it had back when he was a paw. Tigerclaw hadn't changed a whisker. But things were worse now than they had been for a long time. Only a few days ago, they had lost the battle with RiverClan for Sunning Rocks. The only battle they'd lost on ThunderClan territory since before Bluestar had become leader many moons before. "I'm the kind of deputy who protects the cats in his clan," Redtail growled back at him, his tail slashing through the air. How dare Tigerclaw question him about this? There was no way that they could have won that fight. RiverClan had us outnumbered. We had to get Mousefur to the Medicine Cat Den. She'd be dead now if we hadn't retreated. So would the other ThunderClan warriors. We have to teach them a lesson, Tigerclaw snarled, his long front claws flexing angrily against the floor of the Leader's Den as he turned to Bluestar. "If we don't protect our territory, RiverClan will think that they can cross our borders whenever they want. Redtail made a mistake." "Redtail did the right thing," Bluestar meowed firmly. "Sometimes you have to lose a battle to keep your clan safe." Tigerclaw didn't reply, his amber gaze sullen. "But you can be sure," Bluestar continued, "we will reclaim Sunning Rocks." Redtail shifted uneasily. The earth of Bluestar's den suddenly felt chilly beneath his paws. "If we fight RiverClan now, our warriors will die." "But not yet," he put in. "We don't have enough warriors to win this battle. ThunderClan needs every warrior that we have if we are to survive." Tigerclaw hissed softly. "Just what I'd expect you to say." he muttered almost too quietly for Redtail to hear. "You'll always back down from a fight." "What did you say?" Redtail asked, feeling the fur along his spine raise angrily. It had been a long time since Tigerclaw could intimidate him, and he wasn't going to tolerate any half-veiled hostility from this cat. Whatever Tigerclaw thought of him, he was still ThunderClan's deputy.
"We'll keep the peace inside our own clan," Bluestar meowed warningly.
Tigerclaw dipped his head submissively. "I said nothing," he replied smoothly. "You've given wise counsel as usual, Redtail." Redtail tensioned. He didn't trust that submissive tone. What is Tigerclaw up to now? Redtail glanced up at the clear evening sky. There was still enough time for one last hunting patrol before ThunderClan gathered for the night. Prey had been running well lately, and his clanmates should fill their bellies while they could. "Lionheart," he called, "take Whitestorm and Greypaw out for a hunt." The big golden Tom gave a yowl of agreement. "I scented a mouse down near the two-leg place. We'll bring back something juicy for the fresh kill pile." Redtail watched them go, the shaggy gray apprentice bouncing eagerly along at his mentor's side. Redtail's own apprentice, Dustpaw, was busily cleaning the Elder's den with Sandpaw and Ravenpaw, pulling dried moss and musty leaves out of the den, and piling them neatly to one side. The Elders watched nearby, lounging in the last of the day's sunshine.
"Don't forget to make my nest especially soft,"
One-Eye, formerly known as Whiteeye, before she had finally lost her blind eye and moved to the Elder's den, called, her joking mew overly loud because of her own poor hearing. Sandpaw flicked her tail at the Elder in an amused acknowledgement. Both of Redtail's littermates were in the clearing. Spotted Leaf was pulling a thorn from Darkstripe's tail. The black and gray Tom winced, but her movements were quick and sure. Willowpelt was sharing a bowl with Mousefur, and the two she-cats were chatting quietly, while Frostfur and Goldenflower's kits chased through camp, tumbling over one another, their mothers watching them protectively from the mouth of the nursery. ThunderClan's camp was peaceful tonight, and Redtail, his mind already busy with the thoughts of the next morning's border patrol, turned towards the High Rock to make his day's report to Bluestar. As he approached the leader's den, Redtail's steps slowed. He could hear Tigerclaw's voice. Why was the other cat meeting with Bluestar without him? "We have to strike now!" the massive Tom was hissing. "We have to reclaim Sunning Rocks and make it clear that ThunderClan won't tolerate any cat trespassing on our territory." Bluestar's meow was thoughtful. "I understand why you want to attack RiverClan, but I think Redtail is right," she mewed. "Without more warriors, there is no way we can beat RiverClan in an open battle." Tigerclaw's voice turned coaxing, and Redtail's pelt prickled uncomfortably. Was Tigerclaw going behind his back now? "We can't just do nothing, though," he insisted. "Every clan will turn on us if they think we're weak. Let me at least mark Sunning Rocks now to show RiverClan that we're not giving our territory up." Bluestar hesitated, and Redtail listened hard, his ears pricking forward. Did she believe that was all that Tigerclaw was planning? Redtail had forgotten how eager Tigerclaw was to fight. But Bluestar trusted Tigerclaw much more than Redtail did. "All right," their leader meowed at last. "Take a small patrol and mark Sunning Rocks at dawn. See if they've left fresh scent markers there. If they have, destroy them. You're right that we need to claim our land again. That's all I want you to do, Tigerclaw. Don't go looking for a fight." Redtail groaned to himself, picturing the smug glow in the other Tom's amber eyes. What Tigerclaw had said sounded reasonable, but Redtail didn't trust that he was really planning to only mark ThunderClan's borders. Before Redtail could turn away, Tigerclaw pushed his way out past the lichen that hung over the entrance to Bluestar's den. He stopped when he saw Redtail, and Redtail felt hot beneath his fur, embarrassed by being caught eavesdropping. "I take it that you heard all that?" Tigerclaw asked, his voice bland. Redtail nodded, a wary jerk of his head. "Don't bother trying to stop me," the larger Tom went on. "Bluestar agrees with me. I'm taking a group of warriors tomorrow at dawn. Warriors who aren't afraid to stand up for ThunderClan. He stalked past Redtail, so close that their pelts brushed. Tigerclaw, wait! Redtail called after him. Tigerclaw turned back, his expression wary. I'm not going to try to stop you. I want to go with you. Tigerclaw's eyes widened slightly. Do you? He asked. Yes. Redtail padded towards him. You are right that we need to mark our territory. I don't want to lose Sunning Rocks to RiverClan either. Tigerclaw looked at Redtail thoughtfully, his tail curling high above his back. You might just end up being a true warrior after all. He meowed finally. I am a warrior, Redtail replied. And all I want is to protect our clan. And if you're planning something more than you said, if you're not being totally honest, Tigerclaw, I'll be there to stop you.
Chapter 8. Please let me come with you, Dustpaw begged, trailing after Redtail across camp. The sky was just beginning to get light, and the camp was quiet, most of the cats sleeping. Running Wind was standing guard at the camp's entrance and acknowledged Redtail with a tired flick of his ears. No, Redtail told Dustpaw, choosing a mouse from the fresh kill pile. Have something to eat, and check to see if the elders need anything. Then, I want you to train with Whitestorm and Sandpaw this morning while I'm gone. You can brush up on your fighting techniques. I'd rather go with you, Dustpaw wheedled. And I've never been to Sunning Rocks. I'm sure I'd learn a lot. Redtail looked at his apprentice sternly. I said no, and I meant it. You've never been there because Sunning Rocks is too dangerous for apprentices right now. Dustpaw sighed. Ravenpaw's going. Is he? Surprised, Redtail looked across the clearing to where the skinny black Tom sat patiently outside the warrior's den, waiting for Tigerclaw to emerge. His pelt prickled with discomfort. Tigerclaw's apprentice looked so young, even younger and smaller than Dustpaw. Well, Ravenpaw's not my apprentice, you are, and I'm not taking my apprentice to Sunning Rocks. Dustpaw's tail drooped, but he dipped his head respectfully. Yes, Redtail. Redtail nudged him to make him look up again and meowed gently. I'll be checking with Whitestorm when I get back, and if you've been training hard, I'll take you hunting. By the time Redtail left his apprentice, Dustpaw seemed resigned, happy with Redtail's promise. Redtail headed towards the camp entrance, where Tigerclaw and Ravenpaw waited for him. You're planning for Ravenpaw to come with us? Redtail asked when he reached them. We don't take apprentices into dangerous parts of the territory. Tigerclaw blinked at him. We're just going to mark the border, Redtail, he replied. There's nothing to worry about. There was the slightest trace of mockery in his tone. Redtail hesitated. He was ThunderClan's deputy. He could order Tigerclaw to leave Ravenpaw behind. Is it worth arguing with Tigerclaw? Tigerclaw took a step closer. I won't let him get hurt, he meowed softly. I'll look after him. You know that. I do know that. Redtail had a sharp flash of memory. Willowpelt saying, back when they were paws, he wouldn't let us get hurt. It wouldn't be good for his reputation. And then Tigerclaw had saved him from the hawk. Despite everything that had happened since, he owed Tigerclaw his life. All right, he agreed. But we're just marking our territory, remember. He led the other two cats through the gorse tunnel and out of the ravine. In the forest, he and Tigerclaw padded side by side towards Sunning Rocks, Ravenpaw a few paces behind. The sky was growing lighter and lighter. A cool dawn mist hung in the air, dampening their fur. Behind them, Ravenpaw gave a small squeaking growl. Redtail looked back to see the apprentice rear up on his hind legs, his forepaws slashing at an imaginary enemy. Very nice, Ravenpaw. Tigerclaw praised his apprentice, his purr rich with amusement. I can't wait to fight RiverClan! Ravenpaw mewed happily, slashing his tail with excitement. Best way to learn to be a warrior is in a real battle! Redtail twitched his ears uneasily. This was Tigerclaw's influence. He knew it. It was so much like what Tigerclaw said back to him when he was a paw. And it was important to be a strong warrior, to defend the clan.
Was a battle all Tigerclaw wanted? Is he teaching his apprentice to think the same way? We won't be fighting RiverClan today, he reminded the apprentice calmly. Keeping our clan safe is more important than beating other clans.
Ravenpaw sighed, but didn't answer, and they padded on.
Redtail glanced sideways at Tigerclaw. Maybe I should talk to Blue Star about how Tigerclaw's teaching his apprentice, he thought. In any case, today he would keep a close eye on Ravenpaw. He didn't want Tigerclaw encouraging him to do anything reckless. The sun was rising well above the horizon as they reached Sunny Rocks, warming their pelts and bringing with it fresh breezes and scents of prey. The smooth granite boulders of Sunny Rocks were still night cool under Redtail's paws, but he knew they would be warm enough to bask on by mid-morning. A mouth-watering scent of mouse rose from the spaces between and below the stones. Redtail could also smell the strong, musty scent of RiverClan. Spread out and mark the whole territory, he told the others, especially by the river. Tigerclaw and Ravenpaw moved off across the rocks, and Redtail began to mark over the scent boundaries RiverClan had left at the edge of Sunny Rocks. There was no sound but the whisper of leaves in the forest behind them and the rush of the river at the far edge of the rocks. Maybe we won't run into any trouble, Redtail thought, beginning to relax. Tigerclaw and Ravenpaw came back up the rocks towards him. It's well marked, Tigerclaw observed, but perhaps... He was interrupted by an angry hiss. 5 cats appeared along the far edge of the rocks, their fur bristling. Leading them was a large, broad-shouldered, reddish-brown Tom, who advanced on Redtail, his eyes narrowing. "Oakheart," Redtail breathed. He felt the fur on his own back rise as he paced forward to meet the RiverClan deputy. "What are you doing here?" Oakheart hissed. "This is our territory now." Redtail slid out his claws. "Sunny Rocks is ours," he meowed simply. "It's past time for this to be settled." His heart was hammering, but he kept his voice calm. "Tell Crooked Star that ThunderClan isn't backing down. This has gone on long enough." He saw the 2 RiverClan cats behind Oakheart exchange glances, but Oakheart's gaze was steady. "RiverClan will not give up this hunting ground. Neither will ThunderClan," Redtail answered, meeting Oakheart's eyes. "Tell Crooked Star." The RiverClan deputy nodded. Redtail rose out of his crouch, his haunches relaxing. Oakheart would carry the message to his leader. More blood would be shed over Sunny Rocks, but not today. With a sudden, fierce growl, Tigerclaw lashed a paw out at the smaller black and gray warrior nearest to him. Surprised, she fell backwards and blinked up at him. Blood rose from her scratched chest. Redtail gasped. I should have known, he thought. Tigerclaw would never let this end peacefully. The RiverClan cats were frozen in shock, but that wouldn't last. At least he could get Ravenpaw out of this. He glanced at the skinny black apprentice who was gaping in surprise. "Ravenpaw! Run!" Ravenpaw glanced up at Redtail, his small ears stiff with indignation. "A true warrior never runs away," he spat. "Tigerclaw was right about you." Despite the danger they were in, Redtail felt a pang of irritation. Tigerclaw's been bad-mouthing me to his apprentice? What kind of clan loyalty is that? There was no more time, though. Oakheart was moving forward with a snarl, shouldering Tigerclaw away from the smaller she-cat. His face was dark with fury. Redtail's heart beat faster. It was just him, Tigerclaw, and an undersized apprentice against 5 full-grown RiverClan warriors. He and Tigerclaw were both skilled in battle, but this was a bad situation. Maybe he could scare them off. Tell Crooked Star that the next RiverClan warrior we catch on ThunderClan territory will die. He narrowed his eyes at the bigger Tom. We want this finished. Oakheart's eyes widened a little in surprise, but then he took a step forward. His ears pressed back angrily. No matter what you threaten, RiverClan has to eat. We won't give up these hunting grounds, even if we have to tear ThunderClan apart to keep them. The other RiverClan cats began to pace forward behind Oakheart, their tails twitching steadily back and forth. Redtail watched them warily, his muscles tensing. With a snarl, Tigerclaw lashed out at Oakheart, knocking the RiverClan deputy to the ground. "Flea-bitten water rats!" he snarled. "Keep to your own territory!" Oakheart lay in the mud for a moment and then scrambled to his feet, his fur stiff with outrage. Tigerclaw stepped back, and Oakheart's angry eyes slid past him and fixed on the ThunderClan cat who was closest. Ravenpaw! Redtail suddenly felt cold. There was no way the apprentice could fight the RiverClan deputy. Before Oakheart could move, Redtail flung himself between the two cats, slashing at Oakheart's chest. Oakheart reared up on his hind legs, clawing at him. A sharp pain shot through Redtail's shoulder, but he dodged the next blow from Oakheart and sank his teeth into the Tom's side. As if Redtail's attack on Oakheart had been a signal, all around them the cats charged into battle. One, a dark brown Tom, batted Ravenpaw roughly out of his way, claws extended, as he ran for Tigerclaw, and the apprentice cried out in pain. "Ravenpaw!" Redtail was half pinned under Oakheart. He kicked at the larger cat's belly with his hind paws, but he couldn't move. Out of the corner of his eye, he saw Tigerclaw trying to run towards his apprentice. But the 3 RiverClan warriors blocked his path. Desperately, Redtail kicked again and again, knocking Oakheart back a little so he could twist to look back at the apprentice. "Ravenpaw, run!" he yelled. "You'll get hurt!" I have to protect him. Ravenpaw was too young and too small for this battle. Ravenpaw stared back at him. "Warriors, don't run!" he snarled. His voice sounded a little shakier than it had before, but he seemed to brace himself and stepped forward towards the fight. "But you're not a warrior." Ravenpaw was going to get himself killed. The thought gave Redtail enough panicky strength to surge up and knock Oakheart backwards and away from him. "Go back to the camp and get help!" he yelled, turning to the apprentice. "That's an order!" Oakheart leaped onto Redtail and tumbled him onto his side, pinning him to the ground. Sharp claws were digging into Redtail's belly, but he could hear Tigerclaw's voice. "Don't you go anywhere, Ravenpaw!" the big Tom snarled. "We're already outnumbered! We need you in this fight! Are you a warrior or a mouse-hearted kit?" Redtail couldn't see anything except for the RiverClan Tom above him, but he heard Ravenpaw's hiss as the apprentice threw himself into battle. What is Tigerclaw doing? Fresh rage rose up in him at the thought of Tigerclaw and Ravenpaw. Was he their deputy or not? The indignation gave him the energy to twist free of Oakheart's paws. Oakheart glared past him for a moment. "If that apprentice comes any closer, I'll kill him!" he growled. Protective rage flooded through Redtail. With one quick movement, he was on his feet, leaping for Oakheart's throat. He tore at the RiverClan deputy, blood filling his mouth. Oakheart lurched backwards, but Redtail hung on as the other cat's struggle lessened and finally stilled. Redtail blinked away the blood that had sprayed across his face. He watched as Oakheart staggered and fell. And finally, the light went out of the RiverClan deputy's eyes. Chapter 10. Redtail staggered backwards, staring at Oakheart's body at his paws. The fight was going on around him. Ravenpaw locked in battle with the small gray and black cat, Tigerclaw holding his own against 2 warriors, but the sounds of battle seemed muted and far away. He can't be dead. I can't have killed him. But Oakheart was dead. A wail of sorrow came from the RiverClan cats as they realized what happened. The 2 came to pull Oakheart's body away, their eyes wide with horror. Redtail tore his gaze from Oakheart's body. Tigerclaw was grappling with a large gray RiverClan Tom. He snarled and slashed at the other Tom's face, but his paws skidded on the muddy earth. Tigerclaw fell, slamming his head against one of the boulders. For a moment, Tigerclaw seemed stunned, blinking confused amber eyes at his opponent. And the other cat surged forward, his teeth bared. "I'll kill him," Redtail realized. "I can't let there be any more deaths today." Feeling a sudden rush of strength, he lurched forward, biting down at the root of the gray Tom's tail. With a strength and fury he'd never felt before, he flung the RiverClan cat away from Tigerclaw. The cat staggered and lurched, falling into the bushes. Breathing hard, he turned back to see Tigerclaw staring at him in amazement. Redtail, you tossed that cat like a pile of leaves! The massive brown cat climbed to his paws, shaking his head a little as if to shake off the blow he'd taken. And you killed Oakheart? I didn't think you had it in you. Tigerclaw's voice was admiring. Redtail just felt sick. There was a time when Tigerclaw's praise would have meant everything to me. Now, though, Oakheart was dead. And for what? It wouldn't settle the conflict over Sunning Rocks. Fury burned inside of him as he looked into Tigerclaw's eyes. He's to blame for all of this. It hadn't had to come to a fight. Not today. If Tigerclaw hadn't attacked the RiverClan cat, Oakheart would still be alive. Young Ravenpaw wouldn't be injured. Redtail wouldn't be a killer. He'd never killed another cat. Not until today.
Tigerclaw? Ravenpaw's mew was tentative. The skinny apprentice inched closer, looking back and forth between them. Blood still dripped from his shoulder, running down his side. There were still 2 RiverClan warriors left. The small black and gray she-cat Tigerclaw had first attacked, and the larger gray tom Redtail had flung away from Tigerclaw. They were pressed low to the ground, their ears back, snarling as they eyed the ThunderClan cats.
Ravenpaw, go!
Redtail growled. If nothing else, at least maybe he could save the apprentice from any more of this.
Tigerclaw looked at Redtail thoughtfully, and then, perhaps seeing the fury and desperation in his eyes, yelled, "Go back to camp, Ravenpaw. Redtail and I can finish this."
But the fight's not done, Ravenpaw meowed. And I owe Redtail. He saved me. Oakheart said...
You don't owe me anything, Redtail snapped. Go while you still can, Tigerclaw agreed. Run back to camp now. Finally, thanks StarClan, Redtail thought.
Ravenpaw backed away a few paces, and then turned and ran. As he disappeared down the path, there was a blur of motion in the corner of Redtail's eye. He turned to see the black and gray she-cat spring at Tigerclaw's throat.
The tussle was brief before Tigerclaw flung her to the ground.
He snarled, swiping a paw at her as she lay winded on the ground.
The Redtail snapped. Tigerclaw, stop! To his surprise, the big tom listened, pulling up short, his claws near her throat. No more blood, Redtail said quietly. Not now.
The 2 remaining RiverClan cats exchanged a short glance and then yelled a retreat. Redtail watched as they disappeared past Sunning Rocks. They heard the smallest splash as they slid into the water. A tightness inside him relaxed.
It was over. For now. He couldn't think about Oakheart's death. Not yet. The sun was high in the sky, its reflection off the river almost blinding. A heavy blow landed hard on his back, driving Redtail into a crouch. Sharp pain ripped at his throat, and he felt something hot and wet running across his throat, streaming down his chest. Blood. He tried to rise again, but he couldn't move. Had the RiverClan cats come back? His vision blurred, but as the weight moved from his back, he peered up to see Tigerclaw staring down at him, his face expressionless. Tigerclaw? Tigerclaw attacked him? Redtail's mind felt fuzzy. He couldn't think properly. He tried to speak, but his mouth felt cracked and dry. Why? He whispered, almost soundlessly. Tigerclaw's tail curled high above his back, and his eyes gleamed triumphantly. You were in my way, Redtail. It's nothing personal, but ThunderClan needs a real deputy. I'm just doing what I should have let that hawk do back when you were a paw. Redtail could feel the warmth all around him. Was it his blood? Soaking into the earth? But he was still cold. But you saved my life. He meowed slowly. And you should have been loyal from then on, Tigerclaw murmured, his amber gaze fixed on Redtail's face. But you weren't. So, better for me, better for the clan, if you're not here. Despite the brightness of the sun, everything was going dark. Standing above Redtail, Tigerclaw was just a shadow against the graying of the sky. But he remembered his satisfied expression. The big Tom shifted, and Redtail thought he must be licking the blood from his paw. He's going to kill every cat who gets in his way, Redtail thought. Despair filled him, even as the sky went black. At the last, he suddenly thought of Dustpaw. His apprentice would be back at camp, waiting for Redtail to take him hunting. I'm sorry I couldn't keep my promise. Redtail opened his eyes. The pain was gone. The blurry ginger shape above him sharpened into a broad, friendly face with a torn ear. Sunstar? He said weakly, recognizing the ThunderClan leader. But Sunstar had been dead for a long time. Redtail swallowed. Am I dead? I'm afraid so, Sunstar said sympathetically. You were very brave, if that's any comfort. I've come to take you to StarClan. Confused, same. Redtail got to his paws. Redtail got to his paws. Redtail got to his paws. Nothing hurt now. And he glanced down at himself. He saw the long streaks of blood and dirt from the fight were gone. He looked up at Sunstar in confusion, and the Ginger Tom twitched his whiskers encouragingly and began to walk ahead of him. Instead of paw prints, faint stars glimmered behind him as he strolled towards the forest. Redtail followed. They walked through a shimmering mist for what seemed like a long time, and then Redtail realized they were walking between trees, soft grassy ground underneath their paws. The sun shone onto his back, warming his pelt. The air was rich with the scent of prey. As they passed a pond, Redtail looked down at his own reflection. Spotted Leaf had once told him that the cats of StarClan lived forever, as they had been in their happiest times. He didn't look too different. He wasn't young again, but his eyes were bright. I've been very happy in ThunderClan, he thought. Every cat I loved was there. I liked being deputy, especially watching over the apprentices. A jolt shot through him. ThunderClan! How could he have forgotten the danger the clan was in? Tigerclaw was such a bloodthirsty cat. Who knew which warrior he would target next? All of Redtail's clanmates were in danger. Sunstar, he said hoarsely. You have to send me back. I have to warn the others about Tigerclaw. Sunstar looked at him, his eyes warm with affection. I can't send you back, he said quietly. The ThunderClan will be saved. Come with me. Side by side, Sunstar walked with him to the edge of the larger pond. Look, he told Redtail. Redtail gazed down. Flickering forms took shape within the water. It's ThunderClan's camp, he realized. Ravenpaw was there. Spotted Leaf was smothering cobweb over his shoulder. And there was Tigerclaw, speaking as the other cats listened respectfully. Redtail felt a low simmer of anger within him. What lies was Tigerclaw spinning now? But the water shimmered, and it was as if he was moving through a crowd of cats. He glimpsed his sister, Willowpelt. One-Eye, Dustpaw. There was a stranger there. A small, fiery orange cat, gazing at Tigerclaw with wide eyes. Who is that? Redtail asked. He's not a ThunderClan cat. He will be, Sunstar told him. He's about to be part of the clan, and Bluestar will name him Firepaw. Redtail peered more closely. Was there a spark of something special in the young cat's eyes? He looked like any apprentice, but Redtail's sister had brought them a prophecy. Spotted Leaf had told him and Bluestar that the solution to all their clan's problems lay in reach. If they could only realize what StarClan meant. What was the meaning of the prophecy? Warmth spread through Redtail. Firepaw, not Tigerclaw, would be the future of ThunderClan. ThunderClan would be saved. My clan will go on without me. Fire alone will save your clan, he murmured, and felt warmth spread through his pelt.